Welcome to the 204th episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle Executive Editor Eric Schwartz, and we are once again without the services of our dearly beloved photojournalist.
Got the day off, 3-day weekend, you know, he works hard, he deserves it.
He does, he's out. We invited him to the podcast, and he said no.
Well, he's on a boat with his boys, as he is. Anytime he's not in this office or out on assignment, he's on the boat with his boys.
Big boat guy, that Cody. But we're also joined by sponsor Summit Funding, Shayless Outfitters, and the Roof Doctor in spirit anyways. And that'll about do it. Do you have any preambles you want to discuss?
Rest in peace, Pete Rose.
Rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo.
Rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo.
Didn't somebody else? Oh, Chris Christopherson?
Yeah.
An
I thought we were going to
icon?
stick to sports, but yeah.
I mean, somebody, do you have anybody else? That,
Israel also invaded Lebanon today.
anything else you want to discuss?
Now we're just saying things that happened. Dikembe Mutombo, though, he achieved the rare, his name becoming a verb. To get Dikembe'd was to be rejected, to be pushed
to
back.
get, or Mutombo'd.
Yeah, or Mutombo'd. I'm more of a Dikembe'd guy, but I get where you're coming from there.
On the fourth hole at Riverside, you got to hit over like some water. There's a big tree on the edge of the water that's kind of like right in your path. Everybody calls the tree Mutombo because it's knocked so many shots into the water.
Oh yeah, that's a good name.
Pretty
for it.
good, yeah.
He was a good ball player, good guy to remember when you're remembering some guys.
Yeah,
I always want to bring him up.
yeah. He was an ultimate that guy.
Have you been to a pumpkin patch yet this year? They all open this weekend.
I have not. I want to go pick up some pumpkins though.
I went to the one on Goodrich Road in Centralia yesterday and can confirm it's delightful. Really nice place. Pretty big corn maze this year.
Is that where they were shooting off
bigger.
the pumpkin cannon?
Yeah. You saw that video?
I saw that. Yeah,
Sick video I posted.
it's pretty sweet.
I'm always working, Aaron.
Yeah, no days off.
I tell you, I don't know how far that shoots pumpkins, but it is crazy far. And I don't know because I never see them come down. Like, they disappear into a little dot in the sky. So I'm not sure they're not going into orbit, as I wrote in the Facebook post.
Which direction are they shooting them? Towards the river?
Yeah, towards the river.
That's probably better.
But Discovery Trail's down there. So someone just takes a pumpkin to the head. That's going to be fatal, man. From that distance with that much power.
Maybe they got a sign. They should put a sign on the trail that's like, watch for falling pumpkins.
I asked the gentleman how far he could shoot it, and he gave in a response something to the effect of as far as I want to.
That's pretty good.
It's massive, too. So, I mean, I don't know. Lewis County ever has to war with one of our neighbors, we're going to be rolling out that pumpkin gun. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, we're firing on Longview.
It could reach from here to Longview. No exaggeration. But no, it was pleasant. And I've told Cody, well, Cody isn't at work today, but Cody and Ridley have been assigned every pumpkin patch. We're covering them all this year. We've got time.
Gonna hit them all.
We're gonna hit
every last
pumpkin patch.
Are they gonna rank them or?
I think afterwards we can rank them on here.
All right.
Goodrich is number one for me because it's the only one I've been to in many years. But yeah, if you know of any, go ahead and shoot us an email. We've got 4, I think, in the area this year, and then we're also going to venture into Thurston County, maybe into Cowlitz County too.
Yeah, and if you want us to come do a live recording from your pumpkin patch.
You know what they say, all pumpkin patches are local.
Yeah. All right, you ready for news items or you got anything else? This is going to be a short episode. I just cobbled together some notes. They're not great.
Oh, good.
They're very subpar.
Setting high expectations.
Yeah. First up, strange odor in Southwest Washington definitely wasn't from Mount St. Helens, says Mount St. Helens.
That's exactly what I thought when I read that. I was like, sure, it wasn't you.
Uh-huh. This is an Oregonian story, but it's relevant after we all smelled the stank last week.
Mm-hmm.
The Cascades Volcano Observatory has 2 monitoring stations at the mountain. The USGS reported one of them is named Sniff, which I thought was pretty good, SNIF.
There's always one of those really appropriate names.
Yeah. The USGS said it is, quote, very confident in the measurements from Sniff, adding CPO crews were also conducting field work at Mount St. Helens on September 24th and didn't report any significant or new smells. However, as we all know, whoever denied it supplied it.
That's whoever said it, let it, though.
Uh-huh.
So whoever's the first to report the smell. Cade Barker, he's a reporter down at our sister newspaper, The Reflector in Battleground. He put together his own report on this that I threw up on Cronline today as well, because I can't get enough coverage at the Stank.
People want to hear it.
We want to know. I smelled it, so as someone who experienced it, I feel affected, but he's got some good stuff in here. Numerous residents inside the smell zone reported that the odor was causing pounding headaches, nausea, throat irritation. The smell zone. I don't think I've ever seen the smell zone.
That's pretty good.
In coverage. He also has the odor created a big stink across social media as well.
That's not bad.
Yeah, he was all about this for quite some time.
Well, it's a good little, mostly harmless story. I guess not mostly harmless.
Well, we don't know.
Sick, yeah.
We don't know. There's lots
so
of
far.
Twitter experts who have thoughts on this.
Has anybody referred to it as an airborne toxic event yet?
No, I don't think so. I've heard it as
one in your back pocket.
Potential chemical attack.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. As I'm on the record as saying, I think it was something really stinky on a train. I don't know what it was. Maybe a bunch of dead animals or something. Moving from south to north based on the time that the smells were reported. It would make sense that it was a train.
There was a lot of commenters on social media decrying Olympia and blaming them. Like, there's probably smells coming from Olympia. It's like, look, when your town smells, you can't just blame it on a nearby town you don't like. That's not how smell works.
Oh, yes, you can. What do you think Aberdeen's been doing for 100 years?
There we go.
Hoquiam sitting right there, stinking up the harbor. Sorry to any Hoquiam residents out there. I've got a long-standing beef with them, as does Aaron. So
they're going to come for you.
But yeah, first big stink in a while. First time I ever saw the National Weather Service report on a smell, which I thought was interesting.
Does the smell count as weather?
I don't know. They commented on it, and they produced a map showing where prevailing winds would have blown the stench based on time of reports. Like, somebody spent a lot of time on it up there.
Well, that's pretty good.
So, but I think it's kind of really important. It'd be nice to find the source. Like, it's something that's fun to giggle about, but then it's like, yeah, so we don't know. It was just it smelled like death, and now it's gone. It was like one entire quarter of the state.
What if they do all this research and find it really was just one guy?
A local man identified as source of stench.
I'm sorry.
It's probably me.
All right, next item. Candidates gather for Chronicle's forum and debates at Centralia College. You were there for it, Schwartz, not moderating, but observing and also filming, I believe.
No, I did nothing.
You were just there to watch.
I was there to
have your opinion shaped.
Here's the embarrassing thing. It'll come up, is I was in charge of making sure the live feeds were working properly.
Oh.
That was me. I was beaten and battered by our local satirical tabloid. And
yeah, that was you in charge of those 27 live feeds.
Deservedly so. There wasn't 27, but man, I think after about the fourth one, the thought is that this was over at the Commons, like you said. We had state, federal, local candidates there. Some of them were forums, some of them were debates. The forums were people whose opponent couldn't attend. So my well-meaning thought was that for the individual candidates, we could do a video of each of them and then just embed that online when that portion of the story came up.
Yeah.
Problem was Cody was running the live video, and it's not his fault, but he couldn't get the videos rolling before the person started. So that's one problem. We had mic issues as well, and then the motor on as we were also lampooned for, the rotation motor on the cell phone was
quite
extremely slow.
Like.
Sometimes arriving at question askers after the question was already over, and then trying to just quickly make it back to the candidate. But overall, it was a great success. We haven't done one of these. I don't know. Do you remember ever doing one of these? You've been here about the same amount as me. A little less.
No. Usually, I can't remember. I was sports for a long time, too. They probably just wouldn't have told me about it.
Yeah, they wouldn't. Usually we'll do, and we're still going to do this, but we do editorial board interviews here at the Chronicle, just one room over, and we record candidates and do debates that way. Chad and Corley Taylor, our owners, thought it'd be a good idea to do this, and I'm going to admit, I had my doubts. I didn't think we'd have a great turnout. We started at 4:30 to try to get it over a little bit earlier, but it was a pretty packed room.
It went long, too, didn't it?
Yeah, it went long, and that's probably one of the things we'll change next year is probably cut off the people whose opponents can't be there. Maybe
just boot them.
Maybe let them stand and then let the crowd know they're there if they want to ask questions afterwards.
Just give them a tight five, like an open mic night.
We wanted it. One of the big parts was letting the audience ask questions, which I thought that was a good success. So we had the 19th District Democrat opponents there, none of the Republicans.
What was their problem?
I don't know.
Something better going on?
I didn't reach out, so there could be good logical reasons. But the only Republican state lawmaker there was Ed Orcutt. And he came on after the 19th District Democrats, so as you can imagine, he was warmly received by the Lewis County crowd. What do we have? I think the most popular one there, based on views and everything, would be Attorney General, which was, I thought, a good get by the Taylors. We had
And that's what Pete Serrano and Nick Davis, Nick Brown.
Nick Brown, yeah. They're looking to get Bob Ferguson's job when and if he moves on to governor, probably, possibly.
Perhaps, yeah.
Perhaps. So they had a good debate, and we had the commissioners there. So Sean Swope and Damian Bean, Lindsay Pollock and Christina Riley. And then we had our PUD commissioners, Dave Fenn and Angie Brown. So those were the debate side. And Joe Kent was there as well for the 3rd Congressional District.
After lambasting Marie Glueson-Perez for not being able to attend because she was at work.
Yeah, she clapped back on that one, too. I don't know if you saw on Twitter.
I did see. That was funny.
But yeah, great event. I was really, really happy. Left that feeling really positive, and everything I've heard from folks.
You're like, you know what? Politics are fixed. We did it. Which candidate surprised you the most, or who was somebody that maybe said something or came across in a manner that surprised you a little bit?
I don't know that I was really shocked by anything that happened with. I guess in the AG debate, it was nice to hear from both of them because I've not. Besides advertising, I haven't seen anything out of any of them.
Yeah.
And just that they take the time. I know they have a very busy schedule. I think they started their day in Edmonds, and then both of them came all the way down here.
Do you think they rode together?
No, I don't think so.
That would actually cool did.
I actually asked Nick Brown that because, when you're in an office that produces a cycle of debates, I've seen that over time, sometimes they can become really buddy-buddy. And they're like off camera, just rubbing elbows, laughing and everything. And then the opposite, where they really hate each other and they'll like walk into the room and make sure to be on opposite sides, never make eye contact. It's
kind of like how we are when we walk into this podcast room.
So I was like, have you guys reached the friend portion of this thing? And he was like, I don't believe so. But we also learned that Nick Brown was a contestant on Survivor.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember which season, but I've got a photo of him and everything. Apparently, it's pretty widely known. We didn't know. Mitchell messaged me during the debate to be like, did you know this guy was on Survivor? He was actually kicked off for being lazy.
2001, he was cast on the 2nd season of Survivor of the Australian Outback. He was the 9th contestant voted out and the 3rd member of the jury.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Season 2, huh? Wow.
Yeah, 2001. He would have been, early 20s probably.
They just had his tag as like Harvard student back then, like when they, their name and something about him. But yeah, apparently he didn't do a whole lot of work around camp and they kicked him out, which is maybe something voters want to consider for, I'm being facetious.
Was that a Pete Serrano talking point?
Do you think there's any voters that are deciding it based on his Survivor performance?
Yeah, probably. One or two. Yeah. They're like, I really didn't like him on season 2.
But yeah, overall, it was a great night. Big thanks to Centralia Mayor Kelly Smith Johnston and Centralia College President Bob Moorbacher. They were excellent moderators, I thought. Did a really good job. We'll probably try to beg them into doing it again next year. That's how well they did.
Okay, so that was the great debates.
And forum. Because we had a caller that was complaining that we were calling it debates.
I also saw a lot of commenters complaining on, there was a video advertising. They're like, why won't you just tell us who's going to be at the debate? And they're like, there was a story 2 days ago. It was in the newspaper. It's on this very website. Anyway, next item. Lewis County jury acquits 3 Chehalis Friendship Fence vandals of hate crime charges. The jury found the 3 men arrested earlier this year for defacing the, quote, friendship fence in Chehalis. That's the one that's painted like a rainbow. Not guilty of hate crime charges. However, the jury did rule to convict the 3 men of third-degree malicious mischief. They are Frank Bagley of Seattle, Matthew Clement of Centralia, and Gabriel Smith Nilsson of Driggs, Idaho, who drove all the way over here to commit a hate crime, and now he doesn't even get credit for it.
Against a fence. Imagine.
That's, yeah.
I was reading that story, and I was like, they may have been acquitted of hate crime, but they are guilty of clownish buffoonery.
It's just turd behavior.
I mean, just imagine any description of yourself comes with, neo-Nazi organizer, and he goes by Chadwa online. And one of them does, anyways.
Chadwa?
Chadwa.
Does
Chad Taylor doesn't know about that.
All right.
It's not Chad Taylor, if that's what you're saying. No, that was Bagley, last name Bagley. But yeah, they had Patriot Front cutouts, like stencils, so they were going to spray paint the signs. Several pieces of White Lives Matter and literature and propaganda stickers. I wasn't at the trial. I don't know why they were acquitted of that. I'm sure there was a solid legal argument that the jury saw. It was a jury trial, so you got to give some support to the jury.
Yeah. It would be interesting to know more. I don't know if we ever will, but they will be sentenced on Friday for their malicious mischief things. But yeah, at least one of them is a known neo-Nazi. It would have been nice to send a message.
Of them at least.
Yeah.
Very likely all three. I don't know.
Do you think the third one's reading this story and be like, whoa, what?
He was just along for the ride. He was a hitchhiker. I don't have the name right in front of me, but anytime this story comes up, I just want to give a big tip of the cap to the neighbor who caught them in the act of this
absolutely.
and chased them down. And without them, they wouldn't be getting shamed at all or brought to justice at all. So
yeah, absolutely. And the police did a nice job of catching him and throwing him at the mercy of the court.
Which gave mercy.
Hopefully they get some jail time.
You get some help. If you're a neo-Nazi, just get help, man. You need like a psychiatrist or dad, something. It's just like the stupidest people in the world just take the most pride in the one thing they were born with, which is their race.
Here's the thing. Simply, like, this crew was 2 guys from Washington and 1 guy from Idaho, and they were out to, commit essentially a hate crime, not be, do some vandalism, some race-based vandalism kind of things. Why did the guy from Idaho come over here and not the 2 Washington guys go to Idaho?
I don't know. They don't have a colorful fence probably over there.
That's probably true.
Just can't imagine looking at that fence and just getting so mad that I get my boys together and get some paint, get my Patriot front gear.
Drive 8 hours from Idaho.
We're going to get that fence. Yeah. It's not the first time either. It was vandalized in 2023 as well. No arrests were made in that case, so you might assume this could be it. But in the last case, they just splattered black paint all over it, which resulted in the community coming out and
painting
it again, which I thought was a nice story.
Just leave people shit alone and don't be a neo-Nazi.
Yeah, I just can't.
Anyway, yeah, glad they're probably getting some jail time or something. And then the only other one I had is Farm Plus Flourish to celebrate grand opening downtown Centralia. They're located at 202C South Tower Avenue. They're planning a special pop-up for pumpkins alongside welcoming the public indoors to explore their year-round offerings. Aaliyah Perry is the owner, and 2 years ago she started a farm and began selling her produce at the farmer's market. And then talking about a storefront, and now they have one. And the grand opening is going to be October 11th. You going to go buy some veggies?
I haven't been in there yet, but I'd love to. It sounds like a very...
When was the last time you purchased a vegetable?
Ooh, that's a fair question. Personally?
Yeah.
Does it count if it was as part of a value menu?
No. Like a potato?
No, I was thinking more like the lettuce on a sandwich.
No, you went to a store and just purchased any kind of vegetable.
It would be
even a potato.
I don't do the grocery shopping for my household, so
yeah.
No. I take back. Last year, Heather sent me up to the store to get an onion because she needed it for what she was cooking.
And you probably came back with a radish, and you were like, "These were on sale."
But I can't remember the last time I was shopping in a produce department. I did used to work in one though, so a bit of an expert.
Yeah. Any other news items I missed? I'm sure you have a lot.
There are a lot. We can just do a rundown at the end, whatever you prefer.
All right, let's do that.
All right.
Hi, this is Jeff and Julie from Fairway Lanes.
Jeff and I met JSIC of Summit Funding at our bowling center, so when we fell in love with this community and it was time to relocate, we knew we would be calling Summit Funding.
They understand that everyone has a unique situation when buying a home.
He had already helped 2 of our employees get into their own homes. The Summit Funding team exceeded our expectations. It was a seamless experience with great communication from his whole team.
Thank you to Summit Funding for making our buying experience special and memorable.
All right, we're back from break. It's time for segments, and first up is Tales from the Takes page, for which I have prepared nothing.
Nothing, huh? Looks like we're just going to have to do a rundown of the good old...
Let's just read the letters.
Gray ladies news here. Julie McDonald went on vacation to Canada, saw no animals. She saw more animals on her camera that points at her backyard at home in Toledo than she saw while she was up there, if you are to believe this column.
How do you not see any...
I don't know. You're going to have to read the column. I ain't giving you any spoilers.
Interesting.
I have a letter to the editor that is completely written through the lens of sarcasm today, titled In Defense of the Democratic National Committee.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Hey, that's a fine letter. If you're a Republican, you'll probably really like it. But you can check that out. Brian Mitke, The Birthday Gift of Contentment.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a really good column. A lot of people like that one. In fact, I'm going to open it up and read his last lines because I thought they were very good.
How old's Mickey? 47?
I think he wrote in the column he's approaching 50, but I don't know how close he is to that.
Well, he lives a clean life, you know.
It probably says in the column what his birthday is, but no, it doesn't. He wrote, no one lives forever on this earth, but to be able to walk alongside our children to build a worthwhile, simple life here with eyes always on the life to come in heaven is even better. Or, as I have distilled into my own life philosophy, try to do good with the good folks around me and have a good time doing it. The birthday gifts just keep on giving.
All right.
It goes down smooth, that Mitke.
It always does.
Let's see what else that we got here. We got a bunch of letters that you don't care about. That's the long and short of it. John Braun's weekly installment is in there. I know you care about John Braun.
Sure do. Let me guess.
Were you trying to get out without mentioning John Braun?
He's in defense of not taxing rich people.
In the Democrats' plan for the universal income tax.
Hey, everybody, look at this. A rich guy doesn't want to pay taxes.
They're going for people with millions of dollars now, but soon they will come after people with hundreds of dollars.
That's true. That's how these things always work.
Like me.
First, they came for billionaires, and I said nothing, for I'm not a billionaire.
But yeah, that's about it on the opinion page.
All right.
Got anything on a Sirens Banger of the Week?
I do not, but I could play. Oh, I deleted. No, I still got the emergency soundbite. Anyway, the Roof Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I was going with. We should talk about the Roof Doctor.
We should talk about the Roof Doctor.
Great doctor.
Oh, excellent. That's where I go for all my exams.
I was going to say, when you had your flood legs, you saw the Roof Doctor, right? There's a thing or two about flood water and ailments.
I did. You know what they said? Gross. See a doctor.
They said, is your roof under the weather? And you're like, my legs.
But the Roof Doctor, who makes house calls, does residential, commercial, mobile homes, family-owned since 1959. And this ad's back on Cronline right now, up to $1,000 off any new roof. It's got to be 1,500 square feet or more. But all you do is clip this off of cronline.com with your scissors, and then you take it to the Roof Doctor, and then the Roof Doctor's like, why did you destroy your computer, and what is this? And then they give you a free estimate, and then they offer you essentially a free $1,000 if you let them do the roof, because it's $1,000 off. That's pretty much like the Roof Doctor reaching into his wallet and being like, here you go, man. Here's $1,000 for doing business with us.
You know, their website, it kind of looks like maybe they could have helped your flood legs, because if you click on the solar tab, it says the doctor prescribes a daily dose of sun.
That's fair. That's fair.
But anyway, the Roof Doctor. Visit theroofdoctor.com to learn more. Give them a call at 360-736-0246. I don't have a Sirens Banger of the Week.
Oh, I got one. That might give us a next segue to our next sponsor. I just uploaded this one a little while ago, like 10 minutes ago. 6 accused of breaking into Cowlitz Salmon Hatchery and attempting to steal fish. Bail set at $75,000 for a 21-year-old accused of attempting to hit the officer twice with his vehicle while trying to leave. This is a group of 6 males between the ages of 15 and 23. They were all at the Cowlitz River Salmon Hatchery down there in Salcombe on Sunday. Somebody reported that they saw them lurking around in the fish separator facility with fishing poles. The WDFW officers showed up and they all tried to run. And then you can read the full narrative on there, but it's pretty wild. Like the officer took a knife and stabbed out the tires of the vehicle. That's so he couldn't get away. And they made it a short way down the road, and the Lewis County Sheriff's Office cut them off, and they were able to arrest all of them. Is this where that 500,000 missing fish went to back in 2016 or so?
Could be. Never Teenagers.
Know. Yeah, well, I mean, these
young
kids
adults,
little children then. But yeah, you felony charges for trying to steal those fish, and mostly for trying to hit the officer. One of them drove the vehicle towards the officer as he had one person detained, which I could just imagine was some dumb teenagers like, we can't leave behind Ryan. I'll go to jail for you, bro.
We got to go back for our boy and also the fish.
But yeah, that's the first time. And we get the chargings every day, the list of people that are getting charged, and they always has the law enforcement agency. And I think this one, if I'm not mistaken, said something like burglary, fish and wildlife. And I was like, did somebody break into the outdoors? Like, what happened? And pretty much they did. But yeah, good story. There's a lot more to it.
You know what they should have done rather than go try to steal fish?
They should have played it straight.
They should have just gone to see our friends at Shayla's Outfitters, loaded up on some fishing gear.
Yeah, they got plenty of that. I heard you just turning the tab on their,
I like
their
they
weekly
have
deal.
they just have a PDF you can flip through on your web browser here. I'm looking for the fishing stuff. Oh, they get a gas can for $13. That's a deal.
That's not bad. I
you
paid
could get
double
the board
that.
game Risk.
They sell a little bit of everything over there.
Yeah, you like Risk, don't you?
I'm a master of Risk. Don't get me started.
But yeah, Shayla's Outfitters, of course, has all the fishing gear you could need. They'll even tell you where the fish are biting if you go to their fishing desk, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, a Fluger President 35 40 spinning reels on sale, $49.95.
Is it illegal to shoot fish?
You're asking the wrong guy.
I just thought of it because I was thinking fishing, guns, and can you just shoot them?
I think you can, but
I don't think it's legal.
Like if you just blow a fish apart, then what have you accomplished?
There's like 8 anglers on one hole and they're all shooting into the water. That doesn't sound very safe.
You're just gonna have a blown up fish sink to the bottom.
I'm sorry, it was a stupid question. I take it back.
I don't. It seems like a reckless shooting, reckless discharge of a firearm thing. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe if somebody is an expert, email us at what's the email address for Chronicle News Dump at gmail.com.
You made it, man. The autumn sale at Shayla's Outfitters still lasts another 2 days through October 2nd, which means we're a little early in the week. If we had done this podcast on a Wednesday, we'd have the new deals, and I am just on the edge of my seat right now, Aaron, waiting for that ad to come out. I think it'll be in the Chronicle on Thursday. I'm not sure of that, but...
I like that Sig Sauer handguns are on sale for $75 off, and the ad for them is 2 handguns facing each other just like this.
What do you prefer?
It tells you what they're all about.
Yeah, they're not messing around. That's some
gotta have 2
solid
of 'em.
graphic design right there.
It is. Phenomenal stuff.
$100 off a Savage 110 rifle.
Visit Shayla's Outfitters, C&B Outfitters to learn more.
And take care of you out there as you pioneer on the prairie up in North Centralia.
Yeah, they will, yeah. I bought some of my gardening equipment there. People's Champion of the Week. I've got Dr. Michael
Djella?
Djella? Is that how you pronounce it?
Djella, I believe.
He's a surgeon at Washington Orthopedic, and he's been elected president of the American Board of Foot and Ankle Surgery.
Mm-hmm. This was the final piece by our summer intern, who is now back off to school, Brenna Witchy. And she did a pretty good job with that. Sure, why not? That can be the hero of the week. I might say it should be the Fish and Wildlife officer who pulled some real John McClane business to get these fish taken care of.
Yeah,
which I'm going to write that up as a script. A Die Hard, but it's a hatchery in Salcombe.
I think you dropped a yippee-ki-yay on him.
Exactly.
All right. I didn't pull up any Facebook comments of the week.
Oh, what a shame.
I looked through them. I can look through real quick if you want me to read something.
No, you don't need to do
voice.
that. You don't need to do that. I think we're
sure?
fine. Yeah, we can move on.
Why don't you tell me what we missed or what I missed?
We're just going to do a headline rundown. We just put the newest edition's content up on Cronline. That'll be out in print tomorrow. But,
wait. We got a comment of the week.
Okay, fine.
On the pungent mystery stench that burned nostrils in region remaining unidentified, this gentleman says, it's that freaking meteor that landed a couple weeks back. Beware the moon.
Beware of the moon?
The moon.
You know, I've read that the moon might not be real on some very reputable Facebook reels.
Yeah.
By very reputable, I mean just they were just on the reels.
I was having dinner with someone once and gestured outside at the lovely moon, and she was like, that's not real. And I was like, oh, you don't believe in the moon landing? And she's like, no, the moon.
It's an actual thing. I have learned, like, no matter any conspiracy you could come up with in your head, there's already a group of people online
that have come up with an even dumber conspiracy.
Pretend to believe it. Like, I think most of the flat earthers are just in it for the hate, just for the interactions, just state that the Earth's flat and
just trolling.
Yeah, just trolling. I think that's like 90% of it. I know some people actually do believe it, but it's a tough one.
All right.
Good comment. On Cronline, we have bail set at $100,000 for men accused of having meth, fentanyl, and firearms. Just a horrible mix in Napavine on Sunday. Looks like a Napavine police officer did some good work. They were able to stop the vehicle. Sounds like one of the gentlemen wanted to stay with the vehicle. Like, they could have left, and one of them wanted to stay with it. And if I'm not remembering it incorrectly. And they were like, no, we'll stay with the vehicle. And the canine showed up in the meantime, alerted, and then they arrested that man. So I think if he had not stayed there, he might not be arrested. But yeah, that's a pretty high bail for a drug case these days. Full details, of course, at cronline.com. The Office of the Shales Basin. How much money do you think they're going to ask the state legislature for next year?
Don't they ask for like $70 million every year?
They're asking for $80 million this year.
Oh, really?
Because of Joe Biden's economic policies.
Yeah.
They have to ask. I'm just joking. They have to ask for more. They'll be asking for $80 million to continue their work next year. Mitchell and Ridley went along on a tour to the Skookumchuck Dam. They went to Bucota. They hung out with Wayne Fournier and the Thurston County commissioners, all of them. Most of them. and Lee Klaus was not there. Mm-hmm. And it just sounded delightful, but Mitchell did a good job on that story. It sounds like the state's going to be tight on money next year. Have you read any of that?
Yeah, the latest, I thought I saw a report like yesterday from OFM that was that the estimates are not as bad as they'd initially thought or something.
The one I read was from Jerry Cornfield over there at the Washington Standard, and it was that the latest update on Friday didn't improve the situation at all, and there's going to be a lot of tough discussions next year.
Ooh.
And then when Governor Inslee's representative was at our Lewis County mayor's meeting recently, and people were throwing out everything that they want, he had a statement that was pretty much, well, not a lot of people are going to get what they want this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, anyways... Just thinking of that, because I think that $70 million had become almost a bit of a slam dunk because they've invested so much in this process.
Yeah, just throwing good money after bad.
No, I don't. I think they've done a lot of good.
Does it cost $70 million to go down to where the water goes in the river and just hammer in a sign that says "Stop building shit here"?
Come on, man, get a new riff. Your house is in the floodplain.
So is yours.
No, mine is okay. Mine is it's like 6 feet out of the floodplain. We learned during the insurance coverage. I mean, that's just from FEMA. Mm-hmm. If we're looking at literal history over the last couple of years, sure, we're in the floodplain. But don't try to put me in that regulatory mess.
I have more comments for you.
Speaking of which, we have Lewis County begins work to adopt 2025 budget. They've got a bunch of meetings. Commissioner Lindsay Pollock at the debate last Thursday said, quote, "It is no secret that we are in the red." So we're hoping Mitchell can find out exactly what that means by attending some of these meetings over the next couple of weeks. U Street and Reynolds Road, both going to be closed at port times this next week. I want to keep that on your schedule.
Yeah, I saw Reynolds. What are they just?
It's the railroad has got to do some work on their actual tracks, so it will be closed at that point, which is a minor inconvenience for me.
Yeah, well, the entire city just splits across the railroad track so many times that a train could stop, bring commerce to grind it to a halt.
It could bring the stink to a halt.
It did.
Well, it didn't. It spread to Southwest Washington.
I got some more comments.
Okay.
On a story about an SUV fatally striking a woman on Route 7 in Pierce County early Monday morning, this commenter said, "I think it's great to see all the bad things in Washington. Just knowing it makes you miserable makes me smile." You should block this guy.
That was pretty harsh.
And then this lady says, "Wow, and it's only 9:46 a.m. and already 3 out of 4 negative posts from the Chronicle in Cairo.
Come on.
I don't mind that bad ones, but do you have anything that's good, like the one about the Warriors?" What Warriors? The only positive post I have seen out of you in several days, like you and Cairo were conspiring to spread bad news.
Also, my man, I posted like 30 local history photos in a row yesterday because I ran out of content.
Yeah.
So that's pretty funny. I started the day. What did I start the day sharing on Facebook? We did Centralia girls soccer winning or tying with Kelso, and then
she's going through all the rest of your posts and commenting too. That's 2 out of 6 posts from the Chronicle in Cairo 7. Like,
jeez, who is this person?
I don't know.
I don't know how to put it, but like a lot of news is negative, and that is in fact how it becomes news.
Oh, here she is commenting on a cross-country report from Saturday. Yay, that's a positive. Good job, Warriors. Is it a she? She? It's a lady.
Okay.
Yes. Is this what you do on Monday? You just go on Facebook and...
It's also just, come on, man. I did nothing but prep football for like 8 hours on Saturday.
Well, those weren't positive enough results for Ms. Luker.
It was for WF West, am I right?
Yeah, oh, wait,
this is
nice
the sports stop. My bad.
Did a nice job.
Did you hear about Toledo? They had a fight and a football game broke
chippy
out.
Ending at the end. Yeah, I somebody messaged me about that. Anyway, yeah, that's about all I got.
Well, thanks for that. Let me see if I got anything else more we need to talk about. I don't think so. I think that'll do it. I think we're good.
Did we cover everything that's going to be in Tuesday's newspaper since we're recording early on Monday?
No, there's a lot more that's going to be in there, but I'm just looking over that, seeing if there's anything else super interesting. And I don't know, there's an interesting Oregonian piece in. They did a big story on the Chehalis pilot who died in 2022 in Oregon.
Yeah, I saw that.
They went long form on it. We were trying to figure out why exactly. They've had a lot of plane crashes. I mean, Oregonian's coverage area is huge, so they've had a lot of plane crashes. I don't know why specifically they chose this one, but they did a nice job on it, I thought. State of Washington's going to pay $25 million to the family of the Evergreen State College student who died due to carbon monoxide.
Yeah.
Sounds appropriate considering the maintenance workers responded, turned off the alarms, and then dismantled them. And, yeah, that's a tragic, tragic situation. Yeah, I think we can leave it at that. Head to Cronline. Whoa, one more. Onalaska
Okay.
Church is going to sell pies at the Apple Harvest Festival this week on Saturday.
Oh, is that this
in
week?
Onalaska? Oh, yeah. Well, Cody will be there.
All right.
The pies are $30, and they're using this for Operation Christmas Child. They send a shoebox full of gifts to lesser privileged children around the country. They made 200 pies. I'm told that these pies are top-notch pies.
The best pies.
Yes. I have family that goes to this church. It's Shoestring Valley Community Church. You should definitely go get one. There's a phone number in here if you can't make it and you want one afterwards. But
What does a pie run you?
$30. It's going to cost you $30. And the numbers here kind of blew me away for such a small church like out in Onalaska. They made 1,700 boxes last year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So all of the gifts are donated. How much do you think the postage was for 1,700 shoe boxes? Because that's what they're raising money for.
Oh, 17,000.
Holy hell! How'd you pick that?
You have 10
You read
bucks
the
a box.
story?
No, I
I
don't read.
I
the
know you're a
news.
pie man. I know what you do is with your hobbies.
I do enjoy pie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard you made pie.
Yeah.
Their booth will be across from the Community Presbyterian Church of Onalaska from 9 a.m. until about 5 p.m. on Saturday. So,
I have some more comments for you.
God, I'll keep looking for
All right.
these
On
then.
a history photo titled Looking Back, Chehalis newspaper reporter Virginia Harlow. That's a great old-timey newspaper reporter.
It really
name, by the
was.
way.
That's what I thought when I saw it.
Interviews workers in the Boeing plant at Park and Pacific during World War II, December 11th, 1943, from the Historical Museum. This commenter said, when it had decent owners. And then somebody replied, I live in Rochester and find the Chronicle informative. Most small local
Oh.
papers have folded. And then the original commenter said, I meant Boeing.
You know what? That's my hero of the week. The person who stood up for us when they thought we were being attacked. That's my hero right there. Let's get a name. Who's the name on that?
Vivian Eason.
Oh, yeah, Vivian Eason. Thank you. That was very kind.
Yeah, I thought that one was pretty good. And also, shall we celebrate our anniversary of what happened 11 years ago?
Oh, yes. 11 years ago, we were trying to climb Mount St. Helens during a tropic storm. Not a tropic storm. Yeah, it was a tropic storm. I think that's
Yeah.
what they were calling it at the time. Maybe it was a, what do they call them now? An atmospheric river. And because of you, we didn't make it. We were within striking distance of the summit when Aaron was like, I couldn't possibly put another foot forward after this. And then I put him on my back, carried him down the mountain. I even
Yeah.
took you to Red Lobster on the way back.
It was,
I had to go back and climb the mountain again years later.
and you saw how close we were to the type.
We weren't close at all.
We were getting, it was quite cold, and we were getting snowed upon.
It
and
was-
rained upon.
There was literally not another person. I think we passed one guy.
I don't even think we saw one person.
Yeah, we were supposed to do that with Jesse Smith, which maybe that'd be fun to do because I think climbing a mountain with Jesse Smith would be fun.
Yeah, I bet it would be.
But yeah, that was great.
Didn't we get Jesse's permits to do it?
Yeah. He invited. He was trying to get a group together to go, and then the last minute, everyone saw the weather report and was like, "Well, there's no way you shouldn't do it." Remember, we got warned when we were picking up our permit. They were like, "It's not a great idea,
I
man.
had the ranger station was like, I don't
I don't know
know.
what you're doing." And then the night before, I think everybody pulled out, and then we texted one another, and we were like, "Let's do it." It was fun.
Yeah, we had a great time going to Red Lobster.
11 years.
Failure.
Good time.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else. That's it. I'm sure there's more stuff, but
All right. We're sponsored by Summit Funding, Shields Outfitters, and The Roof Doctor. Leave a review and rating on Apple Podcasts if you want, or send us an email, chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.
Winter came hard, yeah.